Let's learn all about how to play Granblue Fantasy Versus Rising in 7 minutes. The normals are lights, mediums, heavy, going from quickest, shortest to slower, longer, more damaging, and priority. They have a far and close version. Close one can chain into a 3-hitting auto combo. Can be frustrating when first getting used to due to distance awareness. Also, there's a unique button that differs for every character, varying from a physical hit to unique mechanics. They all have a crouching, dash, and aerial versions. Notably important ones are crouching heavy, 2H, your go-to anti-air, and dash light, that's plus on block, which is very useful. The priority relates to clashes, when same priority moves intersect where you can cancel into anything, or crush when a higher priority one intersects and beats a lower one. And trades if simultaneous normals don't intersect but still hit. Movement wise, you have dash with forward 6-6 or back dash with back 4-4. Jump with up or high jump with down up, but these trajectories are set in stone. You can block air-to-airs, projectiles, and even tech aerial grabs, but you can't block grounded normals when you jump, which makes 2H's deadly. You get this counter hit flash that gives more advantage for more damage and combos. This applies to counter hitting in general when you hit them first. The bigger the normal, the bigger the counter. So jumping isn't as strong in this game unless it's calculated, a setup, or if you have air specials that change your timings. If you do get hit, you can recover out of it with down plus any attack to bounce up, or back plus any attack to jump back, useful to prevent them from continuing. If you don't tech, you'll transition into a knockdown state. Sometimes you don't have a choice. Sweeps, normal throws, ultimate skills, or supers give hard knockdowns. Now for other buttons, there's a dash button to help with forward dash instead of pressing 6-6, a grab button which is L plus U where you can throw them backwards when holding back, can't be used right away, can be countered with a grab input to reset, or a normal for a weaker tech that still deals chip damage and gives the attacker an advantage. Holding back blocks highs and mids, and down back blocks lows. But there's a block button useful to deal with cross-ups. You still need to hold a down plus block button to block lows. Block and back is dodge, frame 1 invul but vulnerable to throw. Helpful against projectiles to avoid chip from most skills and supers which can kill you. Normals don't chip though, although this dodge does have a long duration of 29 frames with a small gap for them to counter at the end if you miss. Block and forward is roll, not as useful since it can get hit out with lows but has its moments. And a skill button that triggers a light version of your quarter circle inputs. You can see the direction for the specific skills up here. Default is light quarter circle forward, forward plus special gives a DP motion, back plus special gives quarter circle back. Sometimes you have down inputs as well. Press M, H, or U with a combination to get those versions of the skills. And having this button just helps them not mess up and be quicker. Although the technical version deals more damage raw, they both deal the same damage and combos. Cooldowns vary with L and M having minimal unless if it's a DP reversal. EX heavy has the most cooldown, where U for ultimate skill requires some bar to use but is usually the best version. Uses 50% meter where you get 25% back on hits and 12.5% back on block, but 0% back from normals where it also deals 60% of its damage. What's nice is that the U version can bypass the cooldown if you have the bar for it, just resetting the timer. Speaking of meter, 100% of it can be used to go into supers called Skybound Art with grab plus skill, and there's a super Skybound Art when your HP is under 30% by adding U input, usually being better with a longer cinematic, but they both have their uses. And you can easily get meter in this game with everything from walking to landing hits to blocking, so don't worry too much about saving up. Above that is a health bar, average being 16k as it does vary a bit. Under that is the skills icons, Skybound gauge, and these diamonds here called Bravery points. This is a unique mechanic. It can be used on block as Raging Strike, an unguardable for 1 diamond, taking one of theirs when pressing M plus H with a follow-up chain hit to combo. It can be used mid combos as well to extend, when blocking to push them off as a brave counter. And if you get hit by it, you can counter with it, but this uses 2 diamonds, so if you don't have enough, you can't counter. Although there are other ways to counter Raging Strike, like with mashes or dodge on reaction. You also lose 1 for getting hit by a Skybound Art, and lose 2 for a super Skybound Art while the user gains 1. The less damage you have, the more damage you take. At 1 bravery, there's a 20% damage amplification, and at 0, it's amplified by 50%. Neutral is based around pokes to whiff punish, checks, footsies to judge distances, etc. You do need to move, but some resources and ultimate skills can help. Dash light is nice since it's plus on block, continue into pressure or combo. Do dash L into M chain to follow up, as you might be too far out of range to continue with close L to chain, accidentally getting the far version. And other dash normals with different properties. Dashes are strong, but you can't block right away when you dash, so they can keep you at bay with longer normals or specials while you're vulnerable, which you should also do. You can still dash into dodge to avoid these and maneuver that way. On the flip side, you can bait and punish. Walking gets important to reposition yourself and know that every character has different speeds. Changing movement patterns with jumps can be nice to whiff punish things. Hit confirms is a lot harder and more important here. Most of the time, you'll confirm a few pokes into skills, especially further while still being safe. Basic combos can look like 2L, 2L, 5L into skill, or just change change 6XL into MMM, finishing with skill. Not much mixed screen, but some characters do have more. In the corner, EX skills with wall bounces, allowing you to continue again into a chain. You want to limit your regular normals and fit in more EXs to maximize damage before they drop. You get like 6 aerial juggle hits before the combo drops. Can also use ultimate skills to extend or get a hard knockdown for a setup. Also spending a bravery points, which is nice for corner carry, especially if you're close to killing them. The menu's guides also gives helpful combos for characters to learn as well. If they're blocking, you can do forward plus M on the last hit of your chain for a low, or forward plus H for a high. These are a built-in mix-up just to get some damage and advantage, as it doesn't combo and pushes you out of range. A lot of pressure will revolve around frame traps with normals and skills that you can identify by putting the bot on counter with lights, spacing them out to overextend with long-reaching normals, or when they start to block, varying tempos with grabs involved. If they tech, you can bait it out with shimmies, or counter hit the weaker tech with delays. Plus on block, dash light can also be thrown in to layer your mind games. Finally, defense. You want to block low to avoid these quick pokes unless character-specific overheads come into play or you see them jumping. A single appears if you get hit low, a double appears if you get hit by a high, so that way you'll know. Block button helps mid-screen in case of cross-ups. And be patient and block, but you do need to find your times to mash and wiggle out, especially if they start to grab. Add reversals to escape situations and keep them guessing whether it's a DP when they're plus or a brave counter on mix-ups. The late mash is also strong, doesn't come out if they continue pressuring, they get hit if there's a gap, and text grabs. There is instant block, IB, blocking right before an attack connects where you'd flash away with it just appearing on success, but all this does is just helps build some meter. That covers about everything to get you started with the game. Hope you enjoyed this video and have fun out there. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.